This video is only one part of an in-depth review, so check out the rest at thegoodride.com. Thanks for watching. Welcome to The Good Ride, where it's not about our pride, it's just about how it rides. I'm the editor, James Beastie, and this is the ride Smokescreen. I rode this with the Burton Kendo and Union Atlas. I got this in some decent spring, late spring conditions, and got enough time on it to give you my take. And to give you a short summary, this is a softer, mellower version of the Commissioner, which is a super stiff, aggressive straight liner of a board. Almost no side cut, just a pointer. And this just mellows that out a little bit, puts it at a more accessible price point for the average budget. And it doesn't do a lot of things well, but does a few things really well. Straight lining and straight lining and straight lining, and it can also get air. When it comes to sizing, this 58 felt right. It felt like the right kind of board for my weight. Maybe I could have gone the next size up with this. The Commissioner felt just right. Like I don't think I can handle any bigger than that and a 58. But for this, it felt like it handled my weight, and my boots, my size 9 boots, could turn it pretty well. But it's not a very turny board. That's not what this is for. When it comes to shape, this is tapered and directional, not super tapered, and it's very directional, and it's got a decent amount of camber from the back foot going well past the front binding, but then has some early rise, so it's not full on locked in old school camber. And that I'm very thankful for that, because it was a little more forgiving than you would think for the shape and the side cut. It's very stable, it's very fast, it's a very aggressive ride. It can skid turns okay, but it's really more for an advanced to expert rider on a budget. Now when it comes to flex, fucking stiff. And this is softer by a good bit. That's like medium in the nose, and then the tail is stiff. Like I'm trying to flex it here and I feel the nose giving down there. Here's what's weird. I could butter with this okay. It's no easy task, but it's a lot better than I thought it would be. And the pop is easier to access than the Commissioner next to it. The Mountain Pig is just here mainly to fill out the studio, but it's the board you want if you want something more turny, a little more well-rounded. This is the next step. These two are the next step up from the Mountain Pig in terms of having a balmy, straight-liney ride. Now, when it comes to speed, the base glide's pretty good. The Commissioner, I felt like it was better. The Mountain Pig's pretty good too, but this just is all about pointing it. The Mountain Pig's a pretty pointy board, but it can get a little turny. This is just like old school, like 2000s, early O's ride boards that just love to point it. This is a mellow pointer, and this is the pinnacle of pointing. This is just super fast. This is the same shape with a softer flex, and it's still pretty stiff. It is a fast, damp board. Even the Smokescreen was beyond my health insurance policy in terms of straight lining, and I only touched on what this could do. And it's a pretty damp ride, a little bit going on in the nose when I pointed it in slightly uneven terrain, but the Commissioner's the ultimate in pointy. And the Mountain Pig's almost there with these two boards, but just not quite as much. Now, when it comes to uneven terrain, this is just like the last board I'd want for weaving in and out of moguls. There's just no side cut to turn. Turn initiation is pretty quick, but once you get it on side cut, it comes into that turning experience where it really doesn't want to turn across the groomers without a lot of effort. It likes to go down like this, long drawn out S-turns, and straight lines are where this board shines. It did better than the Commissioner when it comes to carving across groomers, and it was a little easier than I thought it would be, but it's still not that kind of board, and that's not what it does. And with circle carves, it was funny. It was very hard to even get this, like at the bottom of a run, if you go in to do a circle carve, I just kind of did this and just went off to the run. That was it. That was all I could get out of it. The Mountain Pig was a lot easier to get a little more wide variety of turns going on. Yeah, carving is good. It carves really well. It's got good spring out of the turn, but it really just has a limited amount of turn types. So it's basically just to pick up speed, check yourself when you need to, and then pick up more speed. But it's basically just for bombing. Now when it comes to powder, there's a decent setback on board. There's good directional float, there's taper. It's kind of in that just like kind of middle ground free ride kind of thing where you've got that rocker before the nose. So this is a good one board quiver if you just have big open powder faces and maybe a steep wide open face and you want to point it on this. It's going to be fun. When it comes to switch, it was okay, but I don't know. This is just a don't go in the park kind of board. Maybe just hit a big kicker, straight air, that kind of thing. Not really kind of my style of park board. Overall, get this if you're on a budget and you want to point it. It's a very limited board in terms of who it's for, but if you're that person who really wants to point it, this might work for you. All our reviews are a best effort, objective opinion from an average rider's perspective. There's no brand oversight, we're free to say whatever we want. We send back everything unless it's a favorite, then we ask to keep those or straight up buy them. Now if you need advice, fill out the eHarmony profile in the Contact Us section of the site. It's the only way I can help you properly. If you want to support us, and if what we reviewed appeals to you, it helps if you buy through our links. So, thanks for watching.